Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Model Mania. I'm your host, Brandy Thomas, and of course we're coming to you from the Artists United Network suite right here at Soulful Illusion Studios. I'm here with my husband. Hi, husband.
Hello.
He has a name. His name's Jeff Thomas. For those of you who see some things that we talk about in the studio, we call him JT. Okay, so JT is a set designer. He has been building and constructing sets for themed attractions and haunted houses, mini golf, laser tag, those types of things all over the world for 20 years?
22 years.
Can I just say that it's super weird to interview your husband on a show? If you've never interviewed your significant other, it's really weird because I feel like I have to stay in this like talk show mode, and it feels weird to talk to you like that. I don't know that this will ever happen again.
I don't think it should ever happen again.
I'm totally kidding. Okay, so of course, the reason I'm interviewing JT today is because he is part of our model Bootcamp. He is, of course, on the staff as the Business 101 station. JT does all of the business contracts and licenses, our LLC, all of our tax stuff here at the studio. He also is, takes care of finances and keeping our books straight because I'm horrible with numbers.
Very bad.
And really bad, I'm really bad with numbers. So he can make sure that I am always intact and in order. So of course I could think of nobody else to bring on to talk about business than this guy. So tell me a little bit about what are you teaching the girls when they come to your station? What are you talking about with them?
Just basics of like LLCing themselves to protect their personal assets. How to go about registering that, how to go about getting a employer identification number through the IRS website, just the different steps to go through, and then discussing like as it goes forward, more or less of a hobby and more of a job, of an income, steps to take to make sure you're prepared for your taxes every year.
Like, for instance, one of those things I think would be keeping a separate bank account, right?
Separate, your own business bank account. That way you can control your like spending. Like this is for work, and
right.
You have your personal account, which is, for your personal stuff.
Now, one thing that as a business owner I was really bad about, and of course JT's been on me about doing this. He said you need to write yourself a check, right? Because that's essentially how you're paying yourself out of your business, which I always thought was really crazy and silly. But as a business owner, you have to make sure that you're doing those things so that you're allotting all the allowances for spending and making sure that you are not, instead of just spending out of the account and saying, well, I have this much to spend, write yourself a check and then don't spend out of that business account.
Yes.
Any personal, right?
Any personal, out of your business account. It should all be. You should always write yourself a paycheck.
Yeah.
Always.
Which I still am kind of bad about doing that sometimes because I think, oh, well, this is how much I made and this is how much I, have to spend and I, will just spend it. So we're working on it. Okay, so do you think it's important that that as the girls go forward that they keep receipts, or of course that's what a bank account is always good for?
It's a lot easier now that everything's more electronical just to have a separate bank account because you can just put it on that card so it keeps track for you. So you don't have to keep a file folder full of receipts like they did 20, 30 years ago. You can do it all electronically and just print off a bank statement.
One thing I'm really excited about, and we had to deal with this last year filing the taxes for the studio, is that Cash App is, some people are not happy about this, that they are requiring you to now file taxes and claim income over $600 that you're getting on Cash App. Now, I used Cash App a lot last year, which JT's like, stop using Cash App, because prior to this, there was no way to just pull a report to say, this is how much money I received on Cash App for the whole year. I had to sit down with him, and he was so frustrated because we had to go from January to December and go to every single received money transaction and write it down so that we had a tally. So I'm excited that Cash App is making us now pay taxes, because I was already paying taxes on that money, and it was hard to keep track of.
Thing about it is, with this, you should have it in three ways. You take cash, take a credit card, and you can take a check. Those should be your three basics. You shouldn't be doing, as a business, Venmo,
You don't think so?
Cash App. No, not at all. I honestly don't, because now you're making more of a work process for yourself.
That's so true.
When it comes down to doing your end of the year.
We learned that last year, I think, with the studio, is that it's so much easier if you have one operating system, or even one way to collect money. Now, if it's a huge job, I'll collect a check, but I don't do checks, just because it's super easy for somebody to write you a bad check. So I'm kind of leery, unless I were to be able to verify a check.
I'm not going to go out and take a personal check from somebody that I haven't already.
But like a company check, it would be
if
different.
it's coming from a company,
that's different.
I'm gonna take it.
Yeah. So the good thing about, of course, the girls LLCing themselves as a model is that they are now able to, if something were to happen, it protects their personal assets as opposed to business.
Right.
If someone decides to sue them, or they did some, infringed on some copyright laws or whatever, that's just protecting all of their personal assets.
Right. They can only go after what the business assets are, which sometimes are nothing.
Right.
It just keeps people from being able to go after your personal stuff.
Yeah.
And then that way they can't come after your house, your car,
Right.
whatever.
Right. And of course, I joined in on each of those meetings just to discuss contracts with the girls, which I think is very important. And that, again, is all part of that business portion of Model Bootcamp. I was really excited to have you join in. Were you a little leery about me asking you? You didn't want to do this at first, did you?
No, I honestly, I would prefer to help people. I don't. Me.
And what's cool is that he's showing the girls how to do these things, so that they don't have to go and hire an accountant that's going to charge them, thousands of dollars to do something that they can do for under $200 themselves.
Well,
right?
even like your LLC through the state of Missouri, there's LegalZoom, which they pay a buttload of money to be at the top of the Google search.
Yeah.
But right below that is the Secretary of State for Missouri, and it's $51 to do an LLC.
Yeah, you pay the $50 and it's like a processing fee, $1 or something.
Right,
Processing
and then
fee.
through LegalZoom, it's like $151.
So you're just paying for
them to do it all and represent you. But.
And then, of course, the girls got to, sit down and take notes. They walked through the process of how to do these things with him while they were in their meeting with him. And then in their packet, these girls have an amazing packet that they're taking home with all the information from the day. They have all that information so they can really go home and sit down themselves and go through the website. And one cool thing that we are allowing the girls to do from here on out is, let's say they get home and they get stumped or they get confused, we are going to open up communication to the studio so that they can call and ask questions, and we can help them with those things. So I'm really, really excited to see the girls really start to create careers out of themselves as a model. All right. Well, thanks, honey. It feels weird. Just like I can't even explain the weirdness it feels to interview your husband.
We don't even have this type of conversation at home.
We don't. We do, but it's different. It's scripted different.
I'm in the other room and you're trying to talk to me through like 7 walls. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, we're going to take a quick break. Make sure you check out all the other shows right here on Artists United Network, and check out our sponsors. We will be right back with some fun photo shoot and runway stuff. Don't go nowhere.